That it is.
All right. And so last time we didn't get a chance to talk about brick by brick, what exactly that means, right? And so I would try my best to explain what that means. You cannot build anything unless you actually take it step by step, or in this case, brick by brick.
See, the problem is most people want to start at the top and they don't want to start at the foundation. And when you build a good foundation, each foundation starts with one brick at a time.
Oh, that's so poetic, man. Look at you. That's so poetic, man. Listen, you gotta go ahead and put that in the poetry book, man, and make it happen. That is so poetic. These guys say it again one more time for them. Say it again,
I
man.
can't
That was
remember how I
beautiful.
said it. It was a one-time shot. If you got it, you got it. If you did it. Go back and rewind the YouTube video.
Okay. And so, like, you and I, we come from different areas, but I think we
We
come from similar backgrounds,
absolutely
right? I think what puts us together is that we're black men, right? And I've been waiting for this time to talk about this commonality between us two. You are a guy that you understand wealth from a young age, right? While I
correct.
was a guy that started to understand wealth in my late 20s, right? And right now I'm what, 29, 30 years old, right? How old I am? I'm not sure, right?
Okay. All
Might
right.
have to add it might have to add
Yeah,
about 10 or 11 years on there, right?
so
But
15, but we're gonna move on.
okay, about no, I don't know about that now. Listen, listen, early 40s, man, rocking it out, making life happen. But I always say that I always tell my wife that I feel like I started life late
Mhm.
because I didn't get an understanding of what money was and finance was until I actually started working at the bank and started to be around people that actually had money, right? And then so when I started being around other cultures, right, and seeing them disappearing for a while, leaving on vacation, going to different places, coming back with new cars, talking about coming back talking about the new houses that they bought. That's when I started really getting interested in saying, well, what is it that I'm missing in this world? What am I missing in this world? You see how symbolic that is. You say that you got one of those cameras that follow you, but it followed the sun, man. That means that you shining right now, brother. You
It did.
shining, man. You shining, brother. You
Listen,
know,
I was just showing God's nature. That's all. That's
amen.
all I wanted to do.
Yes, and so what I was saying is that, like, you know, I learned about finances or not blowing my money, right?
Uh-huh.
Going to the club, being broke, getting paid on Friday and being broke by Monday, if not by Sunday night, right? I didn't learn that until I was in my late 20s, man. Like, seriously. And so my goal of brick by brick is to be able to come with my perspective as a person who learned later on in life what exactly is financial. I don't want to say financial literacy. I hate that term, right? But more of financial freedom. What does financial freedom mean for somebody that look like me, that everywhere I go, it makes sense to be able to shine, like put on all of your wealth or whatever they perceive wealth is, right? Put on everything that you have on so you can look like you have money versus building something in the bank account and in your pocket so you can actually have wealth and nobody really knows it. So that's my perspective. That's my story. I'm shutting up. It's your time now. Go ahead on, brother.
Well, I've always been one that knew how to find a dollar. Always been one to know how to make a dollar, and I always been one to understand how to spend a dollar. But I've never been one to understand how to double a dollar long term. Because the money that I did make, that I did double, what happened was I wouldn't spend it. Long term, I should have learned. I wish I would have been taught how to take that dollar, increase it, and then put it into a vehicle that's going to keep multiplying it later on in life. But
Hmm.
I was never taught that. So
Hmm.
I just learned through some mentors of mine. Um, let's say over the last 20 years, because
Hmm.
that's about how long I've been married. So over
Okay.
the last 20 years, I started seeking out help,
Okay.
and because enough was enough.
So
You know,
marriage
I
help you
had
get
some.
your money right. That's what you're saying. Marriage
Oh
help you keep your money in your pocket.
man, listen.
You brothers, y'all hear that, man? A lot of people say it's good to be able to stay single and go out there and play around. But David say that it makes sense to be able to get married so you can have a sense of responsibility with your money. Is that right?
Absolutely. Well, I wish I had responsibility before I got married because if I would have had responsibility with my money before I got married, my wife would have never had to work. I would have never had to work. We could have just traveled and sought out the world any way we wanted to. Talking about
Hmm.
private airplanes, but let's not go with private airplanes. Let's go with first class. How many of us get on the airplane and we see all those people up in the front looking at us? We looking like, man, I was in that seat. Seat looked real
Yes,
comfortable. You know,
absolutely.
so I just recently was able to start doing that over the last 10 years.
Hmm.
Being able to sit in the front of the plane, be the first one on the plane, understanding this, didn't understand this, and watch this. You know how they tell you can only have one bag on the plane?
Yeah.
Not only can you have two bags on the plane, but your weight limit per bag is 100 pounds.
What?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, but they
Okay.
don't tell you that. You know what I
Okay.
mean? That's for the people in the front of the plane. The people in the
Okay.
back of the plane, you have one bag. And hold on top of it, it doesn't matter if you have a certain credit card or you don't have a certain credit card. If you first class, your first two bags is free.
That's what I'm
Versus
talking
if you
about.
sit beyond first class, if you don't have the perks or whatever, the special credit card, you paying what, $40 a bag, and
Yeah.
then your bag can't be over 50 pounds.
Correct.
So that's what it is.
So if y'all didn't get this, and for everybody that's tuned in, and Royal Apple, I know you say hi. For everybody that's tuning in, David going to show y'all how to ride first class. And we ain't talking about any credit card points. We're talking about mentally how to get there so you can actually be able to live the life that you deserve, right? Live the life that you envision yourself to have. Hmm. And so um that's what we're here, right? We're talking about how to be able to build financial wealth, how to be able to build the mentally, right? Because the truth of the matter is this, right? At this time, I think that a lot of people in the country in the United States, man, they scared, right? um we got a new president in, right? President Trump been in since January the 20th. They say that Biden was sleepwalking for the last year and a half, 2 years. David, I know I ain't lose you already, man. um we have the stock market is tanking down right now. Uh, it's pulling back on a large scale. We have tariffs that's going out against Mexico, China, in Canada. We have tariffs that's getting put back against us, right? And so all of these things that's going on in the world, people are afraid. You know what I'm saying? Like people are really, really afraid of what's going on in the country right now. Is a question I heard. It was actually a really interesting question. It said, it asked, because Trump introduced this gold visa, right? That foreign investors or foreign people with money, if you put in $5 million, then you can become a visa holder within the United States. And a lot of people, that the question was posed: will you give up your American citizenship for $5 million? Right? And the amount of people that actually said, look, I would give up my American citizenship for $5 million and be gone somewhere else was astounding. Was absolutely astounding, right? And it's just amazing, man, because I think that I don't know if at any other point in America, and I haven't been around forever, right? America is 250 years old, it's almost 250 years old. No other time did so many people are less patriotic, if that's what I want to call it, or saying, "Hey, I want to be able to get out and go somewhere else in the world, and if I had the money, I would have been gone." So at this point right now, I guess we're going to talk about how to be able to position yourself for the future, so you don't have to be dependent on anybody else, especially the American government, which kind of seems that it doesn't have the best interest of the American people right now.
Right. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you perfectly.
Fantastic. I'm going to go. My earbuds just went out on me, so I need to get. Plus, it's getting real cold out here. I'm in the Buffalo, New York area, so I need to get
Listen,
I was walking around a little bit,
listen.
so I need to go get in the car real fast. So I'm gonna get to that question in one moment momentarily.
No, it's fine. And see, you started off the conversation talking about first class, right? And one of the beautiful things about one of the things that money can or cannot buy you is that I'm in sunny Miami, Florida right now. And guess what, man? I'm warm. I'm warm, brother, right? And yes, I'm throwing it up in your face that I'm in a warm atmosphere and I know it's freezing over there. But I guess the goal that all of us want is to be able to get on the plane and say, let us go somewhere warm, whatever time of the year it is, so we don't have to experience the type of weather that is undesirable for anybody. And so, I digress, man. Go ahead on, brother. I was talking about we can see you, we can hear you, right? So I was talking about how can we position ourselves to prosper despite what's going on in the economy right now.
We need to be smart and use wisdom with the money that we spend and the money that we have and spend. So, I was just thinking at our conversation earlier today, and the news article with Target,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And people saying we did it. Target, pretty much we did whatever we were supposed to do with Target. I don't know. I don't shop too much at Target either anyway, so I kind of didn't pay too much attention to it because Target is not a store that I go to anyways.
So just to be able to catch the people up, I believe that because of DEI initiatives to the DEI initiatives that Target and many other companies put forth, Target decided to the black community decided to boycott Target for about 90 days, and is an agreement, agreement of solidarity to not spend any money with Target. And so the point that I brought to you earlier today was that a lot of people said that it was successful, that Target, the boycott against Target by the black community was successful. But I disagree. But we both disagree because the stock market has crashed for everyone, including retail. So I just want to catch everybody up on that conversation. Go ahead on.
Right. So this is my question I have for everyone. If you normally shop at Target, but you refuse to go that day or however many days it was, what did you do with that excess capital? What did you do with your excess capital? Think about this. Did you go and waste it somewhere else? Or did you find a vehicle to put it in to make it grow? Let me show you something.
What you got for
This
me?
right here, this right here
What is that?
is a 2-ounce
Uh
silver.
oh. Uh oh. They calling you up, man. You VIP
I
right
know,
now. What's going
I
on?
know.
What
Hold
is
on.
it? What is that you showed us now?
I thought I was.
Listen, this is a clear indication that money does not stop, right? So we designated this time to do a podcast about financial freedom, and he keeps getting calls because money does not stop. So he was showing us some type of platinum or silver, whatever that coin was, and I'm still waiting for an answer to see what that coin was. But thank y'all for tuning in. Again, this is Brick by Brick with Terrell Clayton and David Reed, and what we're doing is trying to educate the our followers and our viewers and our subscribers to understand what to do in this current economic climate that we're in right now. David, are you with us, man? You back?
I am.
All right, cool. It's all on you. You're showing us a coin.
Okay. So that's a 2-ounce. That's a 2-ounce silver. Silver. Right now, for 1 ounce of silver, costs about $32.
Okay.
Whether you bought one a week, whether you bought one a month, how many people here, or how many people in general that decided not to go to Target to follow the bandwagon, not the bandwagon, but to follow the cause? I'm going to say it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Actually went out and did something. I'm going to use the word constructive with their access capital. See, the problem with us is we're
And
always
define
blaming.
us. Please define us. Who you talking about when you say us?
the problem with us people in America,
Okay.
we're we're always saying we don't have a chance. It doesn't matter black, white. It doesn't matter. I'm talking to everyone here. Okay. The problem with people is, and more so minority people, is we're always saying what we don't have. But why don't we have? We have opportunity, but we choose to take advantage of it. We choose to take the excess cash and do something constructive with it.
Now,
Why is that?
I'm going to sit here and challenge this and say, right. One thing that I have done is I have spent a lot of time abroad, right?
Hmm.
Especially over the last 2 years, I have spent a lot of time abroad, especially on the on the continent in Africa, right?
Right,
And it allowed me to be able to take a step back and look at America from a different lens, right? From a lens that I was never able to see. Is one thing to say, hey, my food smell good while I'm sitting in the kitchen. Is another thing to go outside, take a ride down the street, and then come back in the house and see what it smell like, right? So
right.
as I got a chance to look at America from abroad, one thing I can be able to tell you is that we as Americans are over leveraged on purpose. And what do I mean about that? We have to
Credit.
look a certain way. We have to experience life a certain type of way. We do not like to lack. And well, why would you like to lack, right? America is the greatest country in the world, right? That's what we've been
Right.
told from when you're a young kid and single Star Spangled Banner, and I ain't gonna do the whole Elon thing, I gotta move my hand down slowly, right? So we've been taught about the whole, we've been taught the whole Star Spangled Banner. We've been taught about how great America is, from a young age when we was in elementary school. And all the way until today, right? When we go to sporting events and you salute the flag, etc. Right? And so what I'm saying is that no matter what, Americans are going to want to live the life that we think we deserve, right? We
Hmm.
deserve a house. We deserve
Hmm.
a dog. We deserve 2 kids. We deserve a quality education. We deserve
Hmm.
health care. We deserve maybe a country club membership, depending on what it is that your profession is. We deserve these certain type of things. That is our mindset, and no matter what no matter what the future would look like, because it's hard for a 20 or 30 or even 40-year-old person to be able to see what life will think about what life will look like when you're 65, 70 years old, when your body don't move the same, right? And so in our youth, we rarely see or can foresee what the future life look like. We want to be able to have our cake and eat it now, aka the American dream. How dare you, Mr. Reed, right? How dare you try to tell the American that he can't have the American dream right now? Don't he deserve the American dream?
You know what? You deserve any and everything you want. If you want a life of prosperity and you are willing to do what it takes to get it, you deserve that. If you want a life of instant gratification and you want to think about today, your credit jacked up, you overspending, you flossing, but living in your mama's basement, but you got 2 cell phones and a gold watch, and every single time you go to an event, you you online buying clothes or go at the at the store in the malls buying clothes, giving them your money, you deserve that too.
Hmm.
I personally choose to build my wealth. So then tomorrow my wealth would tomorrow my wealth will give me the lifestyle that I want from that day forward.
And here's the problem,
See,
right?
see,
Okay,
hold
sorry.
on. Let me say this. Let's go back to the airline situation. Let's go back to the airline.
Hmm.
The United States right now is at its highest as it has ever been with credit cards specifically.
Did that?
Okay,
Yes. Hmm.
today. Okay,
Yeah.
why is that? I'm gonna ask you why is that?
Because we deserve what we deserve. If we want to be able to travel, we deserve it. If we want to have a Prada bag, we deserve it. If we want to have a nice suit to go to work in, we deserve it.
So now when you go into the car lot, when you go, not you, but let's say a person goes into a car lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I go into the car lot,
Mm-hmm.
we buy the same exact car. But
Mm-hmm.
watch this. I'm probably going to pay $300 less per month than that individual.
Mm-hmm.
They deserve everything they want. I
Mm-hmm.
deserve everything that I want.
Mm-hmm.
But you know the difference
What's that?
is I made a decision.
Mm-hmm.
And that decision was I was willing to build something first and allow what I built to fund my lifestyle. We got a credit issue in our neighborhood, in the urban neighborhood, the black neighborhood. You either have bad credit or you have no credit. Why? Because we was taught that. Girl, you don't need no credit. But then at the same time, while you telling your children you don't need no credit, you out there using your child's credit to go get cable because your stuff is jacked up. You out there using your child's credit to get a cell phone because you got to put $2,000 down because your credit jacked up. Now what did you just do? You just put your child way behind the 8 ball. And then you go tell them, don't worry about it, you don't need credit. Obviously, you need credit. Why? Because you can't get a cell phone. But we deserve what we want. Well, however you want to, whatever you want, the way you want to go after it is what you deserve. The way you want to go after it is what you deserve. That's it.
Let me change it up right quick. You know what's funny is that about 7 years ago, about 7 years ago, um, I was going through a little financial strife, right?
Hmm.
I would say this was be the end of 2018. And I went to apply for a second job, right? Because that's the American way. If you want something, if you're struggling, go get a second job.
Right.
And I got the job and I was about to start.
Hmm.
And I don't know if it was God voice, I don't know if God got that big booming voice or it's just that silent whisper, but something say, don't take it, study the market. And when I tell you that I gave up my entire sanity, my entire livelihood, my sleep, any type of entertainment, any type of social gatherings, I gave it up and woke up every day for about a year and studied the stock market, read the most boring book ever in the world, Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. Not sure if you ever read that, but if you did, you're going to need a couple bottles of No-Dos, right? And I understood what the stock market was. And ironically, during that time period, the world was starting to go through through a change, right? And COVID came around.
Hmm.
And it's interesting, man, that while COVID came and everybody else life was flipped upside down, for the first time in probably forever, or the first time ever in my life, I actually felt that I had my feet planted firmly on the ground. And so when you talk about making decisions that can change your life forever, I think that was one of the decisions that I made that changed my life forever. Instead of going and sweating and laboring and trading in my time for money, what I did was I actually traded in my time for knowledge and I invested in myself. And I think that as a people, we can keep some of the habits that we have, right? Because man, no black person man gonna go around and looking bummy, right? We always love to shine. You even go back to the ancient Egypt civilizations, where you had King Tut, man. The guy had every piece of gold on. You go through history, black people always looked a certain type of way if you want to go there.
Right.
But
Right.
what kind of position are we putting ourselves in before we can actually get there? And I think that's the key right there. That's the secret. Because um honestly, if you was to be able to tell somebody who has been conditioned from birth, from a young age, right, that this is the way life is, and then you tell them, hey, you gotta suffer and go through this. Yeah, for the strong-minded person, yeah, that's an easy transition, right? But for the average person, especially in our community, the people, our people, whatever, man, that really don't understand the power of wealth or economics, or macroeconomics on a larger scale, it's hard to be able to just say flip that switch and start doing things a different way. It really is hard. No matter how much you want to be able to deny it or just say how easy it is, it's hard. It's almost like telling somebody who's used to sitting there and eating chips and watching the football game, whatever, every Sunday, hey, I need you starting Monday morning to get up and run 2 or 3 miles every day. Yeah, in theory it sounds great, but honestly, technically, it's not an easy transition to be able to do. And so to,
So let me say this. I'm gonna give you something real easy. I like that analogy you just used. It's hard to get somebody that's used to laying around eating potato chips and
mhm.
sleeping all day long to get out there and run 2 miles. Is it possible that that person can get up, maybe instead of having a bag of potato chips, maybe go get himself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? You see how we winging them off them chips?
Hmm.
Okay, peanut butter is healthy. Would you agree?
Yeah. So
Okay,
so so
but
what is that first step then? So what is that first
hold on,
step?
hold on. So watch
Go
this.
ahead.
Let me
Okay.
give you something real easy. Let me give you
Yeah.
something real easy. You know what really started changing my mindset is when I was introduced to a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Phenomenal book. One of the best book, one of the first best books I ever read in my life. Hold
Okay.
on. Then on top of that, he has a game.
Hmm.
Now I'm not gonna mention his game first right now. I'm gonna mention it in a moment. But one game we all heard of was Monopoly.
Hmm.
Long game. What does Monopoly teach you?
How to buy up property very quickly without thinking, and gain the advantage on your opponents by building assets called houses and hotels.
Isn't that what they do in real life?
It is. It
Okay,
is.
so watch this. So let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't like Monopoly. Why?
It's a long game.
It's a long game.
Yeah.
But they're missing the point of the game. The
Yes.
game should be a game, not just to play the game, but to actually think about what you're doing, making strategic moves to set yourself up. So now, every time you, every time somebody come visit your hotel or your Airbnb, you're getting paid.
Mm.
Okay?
Mm.
It's supposed to get you to think. But what do? We don't want to play. I don't want to play that long game.
Mm-hmm.
So now Robert Kiyosaki has a game out called Cash Flow.
Mm-hmm.
I got to a point that I was playing that game once a week. I was finding someone. If I was playing with one person or six people max, I was playing that game once a week. Why? Because that game deals not only deals with real estate, but it also deals with the stock market. It also has. It also makes you think about your whole life. It even gives you a balance sheet of your life. How are you spending your money? Doggone it, you got to buy. In one of the cards, you have to buy a boat for $14,000. And if you don't have that money, what do we do when we want something and don't have it?
We
Where do
we
we go?
finance it. We finance it.
We finance it.
Yes.
Okay? We finance it. And so when we finance it, what do we pay every single month?
Interest.
Interest. Why? Why do we pay interest?
Because that's the right to. That's the right for somebody to lend you money.
Absolutely. The reason why we pay interest because we haven't set ourselves up to be able to afford it. So
Mm-hmm.
we do we do what we call feel good gifts. Oh, I'm stressed out. I'm going. How many times you? Oh, I'm stressed out. I'm going shopping.
Yeah.
I'm stressed
So
out. I'm going here. I'm going there. Okay,
So let me
knowing
be
they
let me, so
go
let
ahead.
me get this clear, right? So I get what you going. I get what you're saying, right? You're saying that learning to play the game the right way is the key to financial freedom, right?
Correct.
And if we was to be able to go back to the example that I made, right, of a person that's used to doing certain things, right, that's used
Hmm.
to picking up, I can use myself for example, right. I'm on a journey where I'm down 70 pounds right now, right, and for me, right, it was a change of, okay, I'm not going to buy these bag of chips, I'm not going to drink this Coca-Cola, right, I'm going to go into healthier products like this juice that I heard of, Nomalade juice, or Sets on tea, right? And not eat fried foods every day, and and change it to different products, right? So doing the smaller things that may not be okay. I'm going to go eat grass every day, or I'm going to go on the diet that I can't have any of the things, but literally making the smaller changes that turn into big changes in life. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
And so, what is the first small change as we
Go
get
play the
ready to
game
wrap this
Monopoly.
up? Huh?
Go play the game Monopoly. The first small change is go play the game Monopoly. But watch this. Don't play by the rule. Don't play by the rules of the game. Play by the rules of life. Somebody turned me on to Monopoly, and this is what they said to me. They said, "David, I can't play Monopoly anymore." I said, "Me neither." He said, "Why can't you play Monopoly anymore?" I said, "Because after playing cash flow, I can't bring myself down there because most people don't understand my thought process on why I want to do certain things, and in the game people want to follow rules." He says, "David, this is one of my mentors. Does life have rules?" I thought about it. I said, "No." He said, "Okay. So why do you want to play rules of a game that's supposed to be teaching you life?"
Mm,
He said, "Let me tell you what I tried to do one day. I was in Monopoly and he had Boardwalk and I had Park Place." This is him saying
okay.
it. I mean, one of the players had Boardwalk and somebody else had Park Place.
Okay.
Well, we wasn't making any money
Yeah. Of course.
because he owned one and the other guy owned one,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
So because of that, every time you land on Boardwalk it's $50. You land on Park Place it's $50. You can't put any houses on it. So he
Correct.
got with the guy and he said, "Listen, let's get together, partner together, and put some hotels on our property. So when the other two land on us, we're getting paid much more than $50." You know what they
Ooh.
said?
Boy.
"No, you can't do that. That's not in the rules. That's not in the rules." He said he got up and left the game. He said, "Listen, fellas, I can't put," he said, "my life right now, when I'm investing into real estate, I don't play it by the rules.
Ooh.
There are certain laws you have to follow. But if I can't get something, I'm going to partner up with someone." And I thought about that and I said, wow, that's interesting. He said, "This is why I can't play Monopoly because people want to play life by a rule book, and life does not exist by a rule book. This is why people are stuck in their very situation and they're complaining about it because they don't want to take the small step to get to the next step."
Okay. Okay. I love that. You know what I'm going to do, man? You inspire me to pull out the Monopoly game tonight. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite my friends over, and I'm going to beat all of them at the game Monopoly, so we can be able to go ahead and start playing life by different rules. And so I'm glad that you said that those two brothers worked together, and that's what they did. And I can't hear you right now, but I'm glad that you say that those two brothers worked together, because that leads us into our next topic as we're nearing the end of this show right here, brick by brick. Um, Group economics, how to be able to work with your brethren, because that's the only way we're gonna be able to get together. Because it's not a known fact. It's definitely a known fact that the household income of the average black family is is a small inkling of that of any other family in the United States. So I'm gonna let you go, David, and we want to be able to thank y'all for tuning in, and you could be able to get this replay later on tonight or early tomorrow morning if you missed any of the show. Appreciate y'all and have a good day. Later.